Alright, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashum, Yahweh Shai Bahashum, Rakha Kodash, to honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all like the Akim wa Akwaf, learning and teaching truth and sincerity. It's another video through spirit, modern day madness, and prophecies. Look at our good old boy. Look at our good old boy. Old man Biden, Humpty Dumpty. Alright, this is what we're going to be starting off with. You know, we got a couple clips. It's your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Sign of the times. Hey, he looked like he flopped like a little fish. This one, you know, the first one, you know, he went sliding down the stairs. But on this one, it looked like that nigga had a little whoopsie daisy. Almost fuck around. This motherfucker done fell more than any old person I know and hasn't died yet. When old people fall, usually bones get to shattering. Alright, but this is a symbol of the fact that Edom is falling from his power. So we'll just get something real quick. Alright, and only those who have the spiritual eye of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai can see it. You know, you present it to a scoffer, what the fuck does the president falling have to do with it? You know how scoffers talk. Well, they don't have spiritual eyes. We do. Alright, hey, this is funny. Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Now, this isn't referring to a literal demon named Satan, nicknamed Lucifer. His name is Satan, Lucifer, Antichrist. First name Satan, middle name Lucifer, last name Antichrist Jr. You know, no, all right? In today's time, this can be applied to Esau Edom because he is the man, he is the wicked nation that was ruling over the world. And now his reputation is being diminished in the sight of the world. Therefore, the nations are ready to go to war with him. And an old, weak leader of a country is symbolic of the current estate of said country. Okay? If y'all know anything about the story of the 300, dealing with the 300 Spartans and Leonidas, and of course it was actually more than 300, but you had the 300, what are they called, hoplites, which is another, you know, the Spartans. It was said, it's estimated that Leonidas, the king himself, was 62 years old heading into battle. So he was 60 years old still getting down to war. You think this motherfucker right here can get down and go to war? No. All right. You read in Joshua, I believe it tells you, it was either Caleb or Joshua, I'm getting it mixed up, but it tells you that he was 80 years old and still fighting. Hey, Moses was 120 years old, and it said his eyes waxed not dim, nor his natural force abated. Meaning what? He still had all his strength. He'll still stand up and bust your dome if need be at 120. Biden don't have none of that strength or vitality. Why? Because his kingdom, Babylon, is fallen, All right, next clip. Spiritual eyes can see it. Let's deal with okay, we'll deal with more that America's falling, more facts.
1993 today is now $2,070,000. $1,000,000 1993 today is now $2,070,000. Inflation in 5 years will probably devalue half of everyone's money listening to this in their 401ks, IRAs, and their soft saving accounts. Like right now, the world is a wreck, and their only solution to the devaluation is they're going to have to work harder. Over the last 20 years, 2002 to 2022, salaries have increased 27%, but the cost of a home has gone up 148%. In other words, like our cost of living and lifestyles is not keeping up. Average person drives a $60,000 a year car that has a $50,000 a year salary with over $100,000 of student debt, 60% of America living check to check. We have a problem, and being busy is not the solution, and getting another job is not the solution. You have to graduate and develop more of the Gen Z millennial mind that says there's got to be a smarter way. It can't be the immigrant way of just work harder, because there is something to say for hard work. But if it's not smart enough hard work, then it's stupid work. It's dumb work. And there's a lot of financial idiots out there that have just not gotten themselves educated.
Hey, the vintage is failing out here, y'all. The economy is going. Like he said, $1 million in 1993 is now worth $2. So the money has tanked 100 times over. And take that back, of course, to centuries past. $10,000 in the 1800s You was a multi-millionaire compared to now $10,000, nigga. That's a box of Ritz crackers and a pair of new Nike socks. Most of it going on the new Nike socks. All right. This man's system is falling, and the average wage workers will not be able to keep up. All right. Esau Edom is purposely eliminating the middle class for a reason. He doesn't want there being a middle class. He only wants himself being the rich and the rest of us being the poor, which is why, hey, let me get what is that? Ecclesiastes, is that 3? Perfect. Is it 3 or am I tripping? Let me see. 12. Okay, yep. Hey, slakia y'all for making that noise. I'm, sinuses. Slakia. Ecclesiastes 12:3, it says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." All right, the work is being darkened. Meaning what? It is losing its strength, its power. It is failing. It is falling. You can no longer just make it being a mechanic. You can no longer just make it doing construction. At this point, honestly, if you're not a business owner who's bringing in 7 figures, at least, you're going to be waking up chasing that check. All right. Even a 6-figure earner, go to, let's say you're making $120,000 a year. Go live in Atlanta and you're going to feel like you're making $10 a year. Go try to live in Buckhead. All right. Or go to Chicago. All right. The Loop. Go to, well, certain places down south is a little bit better, but go to a city, go to Los Angeles, making $120,000 and watch you still be homeless. Okay. Everything is coming to a halt and people cannot keep up. Verse 4, and this is purposely planned by the elite. He's done this on purpose. Verse 4 says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of a bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." All right, so the grinding is being brought low as well. Like he said, it doesn't matter how hard you work. Hard work is no longer equating to a good check. All right, you can work 70 hours a week, nigga, and not calling y'all the nigga, but still get a check and be like, man, this I can't live off this. All right. Hey, $20 an hour don't cut it no more. You got to be making over 20 if you want to live just marginally somewhat decent. And you still gonna have a roommate, whether it be a woman, a grandparents, a buddy. All right. The days of being a ballin' bachelor or ballin' bachelorette is over for America. All right. And it also tells you, says all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So the entertainment is failing too, which is why people are starting to focus on the failing system. See, entertainment is given to keep you distracted, but as the entertainment fails, the distraction fails. So now all everyone can focus on is their suffering. Let's come back.
$1 million,
Let's look at Miss Judy.
To have more than one marriage license and assume to have against the law to have more than one marriage license and assume to have both of them valid, but it's not against the law to enter into a relationship with more than one person.
That's true. So then, that's true. We have a lot of people who have a lot of relationships, Mr. Green.
That's true.
But you, according to your answer, refer to these people as wife numbers 1 through 7.
Are we going to talk about my definition of my relationship or the laws? If you want to talk about the laws, I don't have a marriage license with any of these ladies. So, in essence, they're all mistresses. Am I the only man in America to have a mistress? Or more than one?
All right.
Are there laws against that? You see, in Utah,
so then what you're saying, Mr. Green, just a second. What you're saying, Mr. Green, is that you're not married to any of these women.
In my mind, I'm married. Our relationship is the same as if it was a marriage sanctioned by the government, but I don't believe that we require a governmental sanction to make a successful relationship.
If the government wanted to arrest us and come after us, they would have to arrest everyone that was cohabitating without a marriage license.
Oh, well.
It's against the law to have...
Yeah, they got to shutting her ass up. And which, hey, E can get away with this because this is his kingdom. His rusty crest. Here it is. Ain't that some shit? This old hillbilly hick looking son of a bitch. This nigga got wives stretching from one room of the courtroom to the other. Let my black ass talking about I got me man, I'm gonna get shot. But hey, back on point. This just goes to show you, It is a very natural thing for a man to have multiple wives. And Esau, he didn't figure out how to work his own system. And he shut Judge Judy ass up. And don't nobody, hey, usually Judge Judy always got a snarky little remark to throw. But she couldn't say shit to him. Look, they all hugged up on him and shit, dressing like it's 1970s. All right. But, you know, he was making true statements. You know, legally, he's not doing anything, you know, illegal because he's not married to any of them on paper. And like the girl said at the end, if you're going to come for us, then you got to come for everybody that's cohabitating that isn't married. And what does this go show? This shows you that Esau has us living in a backward society, because it is a natural impulse for a man to desire multiple women and to have them as wives. And it is a natural impulse for multiple women to cleave to the best man that they can. Okay? To the man whom is given to them. All right? So this whole system is utterly backwards. And I'm not, you know, not going too deep into it. I just found that pretty funny, you know, snickery worthy of how he shut her up. You know, shit, if he kept on talking, Judge Judy would have fucked around and became wife number 9. Shit, he was finna talk her up out her little seat. Shit. All right, I'm gonna get something out of the law real quick, because this is one of those laws that if you're not paying attention to it, you'll brush right past it like it's nothing, right? But you gotta rewind and be like, hey, wait a minute, polygamy, that's in Deuteronomy, that's in the law. Now, Deuteronomy, we're going to start at verse 21. Deuteronomy 21:15. If a man have 2 wives, one beloved and the other hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated. Now pause, wait a minute, whoa. Here it is, you got IUIC talking all that bullshit that they talking. This lets you know, even in the law, you can have multiple wives. Now right here in particular, this is dealing with the firstborn. See, whoever your let's say you have, you know, let's say as a man, you know, you have 10 wives, right? Out of the 10, there's the one that you love, but let's say she doesn't give birth to the firstborn. Hey, matter of fact, what's an example of that? Our forefather Jacob, he had his 4 wives. Whom did he love the most? Rachel. Did Rachel give birth to the firstborn? No, she only gave birth, if I remember correctly, Rachel only birthed Benjamin and Joseph, and the head tribe didn't even come from Rachel. All right. If I, you know, let me double check that. Let's go type in Judah before I get to run in my mouth. I'm pretty sure I know Judah was 4th born, but let's double check. Okay, yeah, it looks like Judah came out of Leah. Yep. But Judah himself wasn't even the firstborn son. Reuben was the firstborn son, and he came out of Leah. And if you know the story, you know Reuben lost the birthright. But like I was about to say, taking it back to this law, the firstborn son, even if you hate his mother's guts, he still has to receive the right of the firstborn. So this goes to show you what, there's nothing wrong with multiple wives. It's in our law. And like I said, this is one of those laws you can be in the middle of reading it and bypass it and not even realize you just read about polygamy. All right.
Against the law to have more than one marriage license and assume to have both of them valid.
And that's a video I've been meaning to get around to. I keep slacking, but I was going to get into the whole, you know, how the whole marriage license came about here in the United States, because it's just that, a license. In the scriptures, we don't need a marriage license. You want to get married? Find you a virgin, okay, and plunge your loins. You know, the way that we do it, obviously, you know, you go through the father. Well, marriage would be set up, right? The ceremony, you know, eat, take her into the bedding chamber and whatnot. You know, I'm not saying to go out and do nothing stupid. You know what I'm saying, right? That's how our weddings was done. All right, meat to meat. that's how marriage was done. Not no man. Fuck this place.
It's not against the law to enter into a relationship with more than one person.
That's true. So then, oh, that's true. We have a lot of people who have a lot of relationships, Mr. Green.
That's true.
But you, according to your answer, refer to these people as wife numbers 1 through 7.
Are we going to talk about my definition of my relationship or the laws? If you want to talk about the laws, I don't have a marriage license with any of these ladies. So, in essence, they're all mistresses. Am I the only man in America?
Hey, he shut her up. You know, so I'll get the next clip. Hey, he said, look, We gonna talk about what I think or what the law? You know, that's how you cut these fucking devils, man. Don't let them get you. There's 3 more I want to play, but for sake of time, I'll do this real quick.
There are some of you who still think the population control agenda is a conspiracy theory. Here's some concrete evidence for you. It's called the Coil Campaign. It was a program launched in the 1960s by the Danish government to reduce the native Inuit population of Greenland. They implanted 45...
Now, I'm going to assume that those are Japhites. I'm not... You know, they have that Polynesian look to them. I don't believe that's Gad or Reuben. I believe those are Japhites. It tells you, you know, they were scattered, you know, in the Isles, right?
100 IUD birth control devices into young women and teens.
So, Salakia, they planted anti-birth devices secretly inside of these, what looks like to be Japhetic women without their knowledge. How so? Let's see.
Without their knowledge or consent. They were placed into the uterus during procedures like abortions and surgeries. Many of the women suffered for decades with pain without having any idea as to the cause. Many tried in vain to get pregnant for decades without having any idea as to why that was impossible. More and more young women are coming forward every day, raising questions as to whether this program actually ended in 1991 or not. A 30-year campaign went on without anyone's knowledge. That is the definition of a conspiracy, a concerted effort by the government to do something unlawful and harmful. There are some of you...
Hey, that's cold-blooded. So like he said, in the 60s, they was implanting those, from the 60s to the 90s, they was implanting those women with them copper things to prevent them from getting pregnant. All right, and brothers asking to know, yeah, that motherfucker one of the best anti-birth things on the planet. That shit unholy, goddammit. But and this was done by the Danish, a group of Edomites. So if they're doing that over there, what the hell you think they doing to us over here in America? All right, and when we bring out information like this, we're not crazy. This is real shit. Man, the internet is bringing so much of this dude's wickedness to light, y'all. It's crazy. And now here it is, these women's whole life, man. Just think about, you know, they're heathens, right? But put yourself in that footstep. You come from a small village, you know, you get married off young, you know, your loving husband, and for decades after decades after decades, you know, as a woman, that you was not getting pregnant. You would feel such shame. You know, you could imagine getting talked shit on. You know, oh, you're not a real woman. Your woman parts don't work. You know how cruel women can be to each other. You're not a real woman. You know, they got them Japhetic accents. You know, real woman, you can't birth. You know, all that type shit, right? You know, husband, he trying to love you, but he depressed and shit. He don't got no seed out you. That's demonic. He's trying to cut down on everyone else's numbers. Meanwhile, the Heavenly Father's cutting down his. Ain't that some shit? And that's just one of many of the tactics that this guy has been doing underhandedly. And that's why scriptures like this, I got it recently, but I'm going to get it again, man. So, scriptures like this, y'all, there's so much shit that goes on in the dark we just don't know about. Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. See, this man lures you in like he's your friend, but really he's destroying you. And like I brought that video the other day, especially us specifically, the Israelite community, so-called, he targets us by way of what? Food, medicine, and I keep forgetting the third one. What the guy said in the video. Our food, our medicine, and something else he uses to destroy us. Right? This man, he is a mother sucker. All right, so hey, this is probably gonna be the last clip. Thought this was interesting, so let's click on this. It says, girl shows proof that she's half black, so people stop calling her a liar. All right, and you know, we're gonna say there's a reason why, you know, now knowing what we know, the Israelite foreigner ordeal, it's a very serious situation. All right, so we're gonna let this play. All right, and hold your scoffing comments to yourself momentarily.
half black. My biological father is African American. I'm gonna break it down for you because I know what you're thinking. This girl is insane. There's no way. She has green eyes, very light skin, and blonde hair. Like, there's no way. Growing up as a kid, I always got, "That's your stepdad, you must be adopted." This video is honestly for educational purposes, to just let you know, like, people can look like me and be mixed. So let me break it down and show you my parents. Alrighty, here is me and my dad. This is Lance. Here's another photo. It's kind of blurry, but yes, he raised me my entire life from when I came out the womb. Here is another photo of us when I was younger. And this is my mom, so I definitely took after, like, her skin tone, her hair. I'm looking like a weird-ass little baby in this pic, but this is my mom, again. Here is her when she was in her teenage years. I am half black.
Alright, so, you know, and now, I don't know if the father is mixed, because he's a bit light-skinned himself, right? So, it could have been he could be, and I'm using the term mixed lightly. We understand that there is no thing mixed, which is why I'm decided to include this. But this just goes to show, all it takes is one generation. And now your child, this is what, when you go read in, what was it, Nehemiah, right? When he popped up and he saw those Israelites who couldn't even speak Hebrew, right? It tells you some of them, you know, their mothers were Moabites and whatnot. He would have saw all kinds of little youngins that didn't look nothing like their fathers, couldn't even speak the same language. Now let's say, I'm going to assume the father is a Jake, his father is a Jake, maybe his mother is white, or maybe, quite simply, he's just a light-skinned nigga, you know? He could just be a light-skinned nigga who, as you saw, got with an Edomite chick, and now she comes out looking untraceable, right? But she very well, from what it looks like, is an Israelite by way of her father. If her father's father is an Israelite as well, which I'm going to assume. You know, hey, Jake went and got one, and he couldn't stop. Right? But you look, this is Israelite foreigners. This is how quick skin tone can change, which is why we try people by the Spirit first. And if she wanted to, all she had to do, right, she could go get with a Jake man, have a son with a so-called black man, have him come out middle brown, and then if that son got with a black woman, that son will probably be back, you know, dark skin brown. So here it is. He'll be like, well, hey, my grandmama white, and this is how this goes, y'all. This is how it can happen. This is why Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is going to come. The angels know all, and they're going to separate and redeem us and get us back in order. Because now remember, this happened in 2 generations. What have we been doing for these past thousands of years now? The sons of God have been having children with the daughters of men.
Those are my parents. My dad actually had a paternity test after I was born.
Yeah, hey, I don't blame him. I would have got one too. Shit.
But just to make sure, because I did come out looking super fair, which is absolutely hilarious, honestly. One day, somebody asked him, they were like, how does your baby have blonde hair? That is not your kid. And my dad just made a joke. He was like, oh, yeah, I used to have blonde hair when I was a kid, too. Like, serves you right for asking a dumb question. I will say that when people see my dad and me next to each other, we do have a lot of similarities in our face. We have the same eyes, not eye color, but there's a photo of us, I can't find it, but there's a photo of us where our eyes are literally the exact same when we smile. Like, the shape of them, one of our eyes gets smaller and one's bigger. And then I'm also very lean and tall and thin, and that is his exact body type and build as well. I did not get, like, my body type from my mom at all. So yeah, I just wanted to share this. So yeah, those are my parents. My dad actually had a paternity test after.
So, you know, and I'm not doing it. Gee, man, this not. I don't know this bitch. She live like an American. She gonna burn in flames. This is just being used as an example of the Israelite foreigners, which is why you have scriptures like this. Matthew 24. Right, which is why we try the Spirit by the Spirit first. And if someone can understand and receive this truth, regardless of their skin complexion, more than likely they're an Israelite. with the spirit of an Israelite inside of them, which is why they can cling to the word so truly. Matthew 24 and where is that? Is it 25? Yeah, 25. Yep, Matthew 25 and 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all, you know what? No, we're going to get Matthew 13. We're going to get the tares and the wheat, right? I want to get specifically the angels. Let me see. Salakia. Because that's a good one too out of Matthew 25. But I want to get Matthew. Okay, Matthew 13. I'm going to start 37. It says, He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that hath sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. All right, and I'm bringing this out, and this shows both ends, because you have tares. You got motherfuckers who is crispy black, who are the descendant, who's a slave rape baby, right? Who's an Edomite, or it could be going back all the way back to, Edom in the caves. Shit, the first time America, the conception of America was not the first time that human beings were having babies outside of their race. That's one thing you need to remember and keep in mind, all right? But this just goes to show you that angels, they know who's who, which is why it will be revealed when you jump to that Revelation 7. What does it tell you? There's a reason why John said, Lord, thou. He said, angel, shit. He said, angel, you ask, angel, don't ask me. You know, I don't know. Let me see, Revelation 7. Yep. Revelation 7, it looks like 13, it says, and one of the elders, well, let me jump at 9 real quick. And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne, and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, and palms in their hands. So you had Israelites being redeemed from the four corners of the earth, right? Verse 13, and one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, These are they which come out of the great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. And let's go look at something real quick, and we'll end it. I meant to end it sooner, Salakia. Revelation 7. What's that word for nations, I believe, right? That's why John, he said, I don't know who they is. And the angel had to remind him, hey, these is the chosen, right? Is the Heavenly Father saving Edomites? No. Is he saving Amalekites? No. Is he saving Hamites? No. He is saving Israelites who are scattered throughout the four corners of earth, just no matter what they look like. Is this it? Ethnos 1484. The word, the third definition, it says tribe, nation, people group. The fourth definition, they're going off of it. It says foreign nations not worshiping the true power. It says pagan Gentiles. All right. And then also kindreds is the other word that you check. Phile, tribe. In the New Testament, G5443. In the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob. All right, so these were the kindreds, the Phile. These were the Israelites scattered abroad. Right, so, hey, and there's brothers in this truth that have that complexion, and when we treat them just as good as we would any other brother, because the spirit within them bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. All right, Romans 8 and 16. All right, so with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash, the honors, the elders, and apostles of the great millstone. Peace, blessings, citations, all the Akim Aqua, learning, teaching, truth, and sincerity. Shalom.